Hi, how's it going, everyone? So this is Stardew Therapy, where I just talk about things that are happening in my life, like issues that I'm facing right now, and I just talk about my own personal stories, and hopefully you'll find something that is relatable to you. I always felt that knowing that you're not suffering this particular issue alone is pretty comforting, knowing that you're not alone in this, and the whole goal of this video series is just to talk about mental health issues, various issues in life, and hopefully we can reach out to some people who are going through the same issues and probably provide some, I guess, companionship, some sort of relatability, knowing that you're not alone. Anxiety seems like a huge issue, isn't it? I think let me just take a look at what I have to do here. So I'm not quite sure how this format will run. So it will just be me playing the game while talking about things, and I'll be jumping in and out, like trying to multitask. So this is the first time I'm trying to figure things out. But yep, okay, we need to start by watering the plants first. As you can see, my my farm is not it's not very great. Just slowly growing it. I'm like 15 days in, I think. Yeah. But anyway, talking about anxiety, when I was young, anxiety didn't hit me that hard. Perhaps I was just not emotionally mature or mature at all to even realize that what is anxiety all about. But for some reason, as time goes by, right, as I grew older, I start to realize anxiety when it bubbles up, and it becomes more and more uncomfortable. Like, I remember when I was like working at a part-time job when I was very young. Anxiety was, I felt anxiety here and there, but it never stuck out to me that much. Maybe the occasional bad colleague, nasty colleague that creates a lot of anxiety when when knowing that there's a shift with her around, there was some anxiety there, but it was never that severe, that paralyzing. That's a good word to kind of describe it. So I'm not quite sure. Perhaps as I grew older and my thoughts kind of mature, I start to overthink a little more, and perhaps issues that are untreated starts to spiral. Oh, so I'm not. So I think one of the main cause of it at the start was just, I don't know. I mean, there are different causes, right? Some of it is genetics, some of it is environmental factors, and for me, it's a mix of both. It's like I have a mix of family issues and environmental issues. Like, firstly, I think my mom herself, biologically, I think she was somewhat of a person that worries a lot, has a lot of anxiety, and that, I think, kind of sort of like was inherited. So biologically, I kind of worry quite a fair bit. I'm not quite sure these kind of things can be inherited biologically, but I worry a lot, and it doesn't go well when your father is kind of like a chauvinist. Wait, is chauvinist the correct word? He was kind of an asshole, a dick. Like, and and he and when we were young, he kind of like, he wasn't physically abusive, so that is something that I'm just, I shouldn't be saying thankful for, but I'm just glad that he wasn't physically abusive, but he was mentally abusive. He couldn't handle his own emotions. He have a lot of anger outbreaks. He he wasn't he doesn't know how to communicate his feelings, so he do a lot of small actions to kind of show displeasure at you, and it became very hard because when we confronted him, he will have an anger outbreak, and he would do a lot of these small actions that created a lot of anxiety. Like when he's unhappy with us, he will just um make noise like this kind of noise, which is pretty common in Asia, and he just show a very angry face, and nobody dared to confront him, and this created a lot of anxiety, and I had to seek therapy for that. And some of these issues just, you know after I went for therapy, I thought it would just go away magically, but it doesn't. it will never go away. It just requires constant effort to manage it and control it. Otherwise, it will just go out of hand, isn't it? And I suppose this kind of things, just eventually kind of sprouted. It just kept on growing and growing and growing to the point where you can't really you don't even know about this because it's an environmental factor that kind of triggers it, isn't it? So one of the huge issue there was, I think in school things was much more in control. I think things was in some ways, I have my friends that are familiar with schoolwork is very much manageable. Not too stressful because I fear so much, I have so much anxiety that I like to prepare beforehand. So it wasn't very much of an issue when it comes to deadlines and friends. Occasionally when the lecturer decides to jumble up group work, like the team members, it becomes, I guess, somewhat challenging. It's challenging in the sense where I'm dealing with something that's uncertain, and that really just kind of sets me off. And I just, but that was fine because everything was just under control. But the real issue happened. I thought I kind of fixed it because I went to like three therapy in different periods. One in high school, one in perhaps like university, and one like in between high school and university. So I wasn't very I thought it was fixed. I mean, I felt fine, in school. But then the real issue happens when I went to when I went for my first internship. That was the worst part. Because in the internship things are like new, right? Things are different. The environment is different, you have to get used to things. You're working with people. And when you're working with strangers, that becomes a huge issue where you can't control things anymore. People lash out at each other. I don't know. I still don't get it why people like to scold one another when you do work poorly. Like does scolding help? And this kind of sets me off. Like it brings back memories like of my father, and just kind of like created a lot of anxiety when I go to work and when I wake up in the morning every day when I had internships. Just kind of feel that pit in your stomach. You're like having a stomach ache. And my internship wasn't that bad. My internship was just fine. My internship was perhaps the kind of work that I was doing was very simple. And I came out asking myself, why am I feeling this way? This work is so easy. But I think the huge issue was that I couldn't get over the hurdle that like I was getting scolded. I was getting, my manager was kind of like a Karen. My director was like a Karen, and there was so much internal politics going on that it was so tough to handle. And I just hated it. Like I just hated it. My team wasn't bonded. When I go for lunch, nobody hang out with me. I try to hang out with other people, but they have their own interns to take care of, right? So it just became tough. Oh no, what is that? Oh my god, what the heck is that? Yeah, I'm kind of afraid what just happened. That was odd. Okay. Got distracted for a moment. Is it still there? Okay. Probably I could have just swing my sword against it. But I think perhaps it was during this internship that kind of like opened my eyes to the fact that the issue will never go away. If I stand here and I keep swinging my sword, will it work? Oh, that was annoying. Sounded pretty scary. Yup. So it kind of made me realize that the issue will never go away. I just need to manage it. Like the fact that it went away during university. It was because university environment was just controlled. Familiar people, familiar faces. And now that I graduated, having worked in the corporate world for about a year, it definitely is tough. Internship was just 6 months. 6 months and I can just go back to school, right? And I have like holidays to like rest myself. But now when you work, there's no rest at all. Two weeks of holidays that you can take a year, that's all. So I'm just kind of grateful to some extent that my workplace, people are generally nice. And surprisingly, there's no office politics. But interacting with people still kind of scares me. Still kind of rattles me. And I can overthink on things, you know, when people make requests, you kind of think, oh, is she angry at me? Did I do something wrong? You overthink problems, you know, or problems that aren't there. You just overthink certain requests and something. Yeah. Okay, this is annoying. I want to go back home. It's 9 PM already. Can't believe time passes so fast in Stardew Valley. Yep. I'm just waiting for the plants that I grew to kind of sprout, I guess, to bear fruits. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that. Okay, I have no idea what is this. I haven't seen this cutscene before. Is George a feisty guy? You turn up at the right moment, son. Can you go and scare all those raccoons? Oh. Probably should give Linus some wood. I found a lot of hot fresh fruit in this can, stuff that will go to waste by the. Oh. Do you think there's something wrong with what I'm doing? No, it's a shame for food. No. Yeah, I mean it's a shame, right? I remember when I was working at Starbucks, we threw away so much food every day. And it's such a waste that we couldn't feed it to people. Because there are some sort of lawsuit legal issues, right? Oh. Oh my god, is he so scared? Is he giving? I know what you were doing, Linus. They even know the homeless person's name. Oh, that's pretty sweet. George is a kind of a dick, isn't it? That is very sweet. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to like do this video. Like perhaps, you know, it was, I was just afraid of like I was afraid the interruption would kind of break things up, but I guess that's how it is, right? You know, we play the game, we talk about things, and I play the game again. If it gets interrupted, it's fine. Yep. So I think working kind of presents like a whole new open a can of worms that you can't really control. It's challenging. People can be demanding at times, and I just didn't want to get scolded. But the good thing is that my company people are very nice. People give credit when credit is due, and even when credit isn't due, they still give credit. So that's pretty rare. And I'm just happy, you know, that happened. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, it's still there. The issue is still there, and sometimes I just wonder, where, like 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 I don't think I'm gonna have a child because I don't want to pass down this kind of problems. And at the same time, I'm not even sure whether I can get a partner. Like, it's like, who would want me? Who would want to deal with such a problem, isn't it? And even if you find somebody that is similar, that has same anxiety issue, wouldn't that aggravate one another's issue, or would they understand one another? I don't know, man. I had never experienced such a thing before. So, requires a scythe. That's nice. Finally. It's time to plant more things. Let's sell some kill. But anyway, it's terrible though. I mean, it's like sometimes you just ask yourself like, why does it happen to me? And I just turn off that feeling like a switch, like the anxiety feeling. Like why do people like react to it? React to similar situation with anxiety, but yet they can endure it, but you just can't. It's paralyzing you. Yeah, I think I kind of spoke about my internship experience halfway and I kind of forgot about it. It's like my internship was so easy, and my friends went for the same internship as well, but in another company. We were working for a media agency, but his media agency was short-staffed, so he was doing so much more work, till the middle of the night, and I didn't have to. I ended work on time, but yet it's like he was able to handle it so well. And when I have all these anxiety, panic attacks, I kind of question, do I deserve? Am I allowed to have that? Because he's handling so well, a normal person handling it so well, and yet here I am, feeling like shit. Yeah, that sucks, man. And I know that I shouldn't discredit myself. Like whatever I'm feeling is valid, and that is something that I learned to do it, because it happened again. While I was working full time, like I was feeling. I mean, there was one period where I had a lot of projects and I was getting scolded at work. Even though my colleagues are nice and all, but I was making a lot of mistakes and I was getting scolded, and it just didn't feel good. And for a very long period, whenever I wake up, I would have diarrhea, and it's like, and it's like, who has that? I mean, the issues is like when I compare that to my friend who is working, he continued to work at the same media agency despite the horrible workload. He continued, and he still survived. But even though he survived, I think it kind of crept up on him, and he also had the same issue as well. He wanted to vomit because he was just working so much. It's like that kind of anxiety feeling, anxious feeling, and I compared again. I was asking myself like, he deserves to have that moment because he works so hard and so long, and it is natural for that to happen. But you idiot. You shouldn't have that kind of feeling, because what kind of work are you having? Your work is barely anything. So you can't have that feeling. And I know that's wrong to say that, but this kind of thoughts just happen. And I just kind of try and control it and ignore it. Not really control it, but just tell myself that no, my feelings are valid. And at one point I just kind of accepted it. And if I can't handle it, I should probably quit, right? And that's what happened. I spoke to my manager and I said I want to quit, and she asked why. I mean, that's the good part about the company. Like, I mean, they will ask why and they are nice. And then I said all these issues, and she said, okay, if you can't do it and if you are unhappy, then perhaps I can delegate your work to somebody else. And in the end she did, and that was the nice part. It's like, finally. Like, it's like all the work has been delegated away. Oh, I probably shouldn't have sold my stuff through the box, right? I should sell it immediately because I want to plant my seeds. Ah, crap. Maybe we should buy some stuff to fill up the box a little. Do you think the person will want... Can be planted to grow a maple tree? This can be planted to grow a pine tree. Let's just try and sell some of our items here. Nice, we got ahead now. Yeah. So it was nice that I was able to just have lesser work now. But it kind of made me I'm kind of put in a tough spot that like I can only do operational stuff. There are things that are happening on a very they are very repetitive, they are routine. But yet at the same time, you know, doing such work, I don't think you learn anything and you don't earn a lot of money from it. And at one point you have to think about career progress, right? And everybody, all of your friends are like progressing in life, learning things, challenging themselves, and you are stuck here just doing the same work over and over again because you can't handle the anxiety from doing different kind of work. And that kind of sucks. And especially in my country, in Singapore, there's a huge emphasis on this rat race. There's a constant comparison that you cannot avoid. And it becomes more and more challenging each day. You know, you wonder whether you made the right choice. And it becomes harder because when you use dating app, everybody is asking for driven guys and all these things. And then you kind of look at yourself like, what am I doing, man? It sucks, man. It sucks. That's how it is. Yeah. Maybe we should just buy everything that is parsnip first. Parsnip is pretty fast to grow. I'm trying to save up and get the bag, and then I want to get a coop. I feel that I need to plant a larger plot of land. Like I need to create a larger plot of land to plant more things. Because I'm not growing fast enough. But yeah, that's how it is. Such worries, you know. And now, and it's like, it's not just the work environment that creates all this anxiety, right? Okay, since we are planting stuff, we might want to try and get some fertilizers, right? To grow, I don't know, better things. Make the produce better, so we need to knock down some tree first. Yeah. So, you know, it's not just the environment at work. It's also the fact that in school everything is kind of controlled, right? The pathway is just always the same. You do work, you study, you take exams, you do group works, you get a grade. And that's all. You rinse and repeat. The path is really determined for you. And the challenge really comes when you start work. You're given a huge runway where you are just like thrown into a desert where you can do whatever you want. And that's pretty scary. And everybody is just progressing in life. Progressing in such a sense where like everybody is like, you know, getting promoted, learning new things, going to big companies, and you're just stuck here feeling like a loser. But I guess that's that. I mean, I'm trying to learn how to accept that. Like, it is fine. Everybody has their own time frame. It's not really a 100-meter race, right? It's like a marathon. Just try to remind yourself that every day and not feel so sad, and try and, I guess, watch shows, play games to distract yourself from reality. No, I just wish I don't have this kind of severe problems. But I guess that's how it is. can't really do much here. Should I sell this? No, I shouldn't. I should sell this instead. These two things are not useful, right? I think we should craft like 14 fertilizers. You know, interestingly, right? Like what I mentioned in the earlier portion where I talk about how when I was young, anxiety wasn't that apparent. And one of the first anxiety moment, anxious moment was pretty scary. I'm not quite sure whether I had a panic attack. I didn't go and bother checking it up because, I mean, whatever that's stated online, you can kind of generalize it to yourself, right? I remember it was during high school when I was preparing for like, it was like a test. But the test was a presentation test where the lecturer wanted us to present on certain things and you'd be questioned. And while everybody had to wait outside while they are being called in one by one to present. And for some reason just a wave of anxiety hit me. And I was rubbing my hands, like very anxious, touching my hands, and my heartbeat was just pounding. And I could even see my shirt just moving. It was uncomfortable. And I couldn't control myself. I couldn't how do I turn this off, man? How? Like tell me how do I turn this off? I didn't know how to do it. Because I wasn't aware of this problem. I knew that I had parental like this kind of family problems. But I didn't know I have such a huge anxiety problem. And it was just challenging. It was pretty challenging in the sense where I didn't do well at the end of the day. I kind of like got like a B- or something. I mean, perhaps in your view, B- is fine. But supposedly, you know, Asian, right? Asian needs A. And I was very good at that course, you know. The course was like organizational psychology. And I was one of the top scorers for some reason because I really enjoyed it. So I worked very hard for it. But then all of a sudden, you know, this presentation kind of screwed me over. And I'm just like, and that moment just kind of stuck with me, like I just wondered why is this happening? Like, I don't understand. Ooh, bee house, speed grow, farmer's lunch. I never crafted any of these cooking recipes before, and I feel that I'm not. Oh, wow, kale really it sells for a lot of money. That's nice. Day 19. Anyway, if you are still watching, thanks for watching. I have a request for you. I need fresh cauliflower for a recipe I'm gonna make. Will you bring me one? Oh, do we have cauliflower? This is cauliflower, right? But we need a few more days though. Can we buy cauliflower from somewhere? Such a weird request. Like, why is she requesting it from me out of everyone? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. Let's buy 16 seeds. And then okay, I realized something. You know, there's something annoying about Stardew Valley. When I wake up at 6 or 7, right? The store is not open. It's the same kind of feeling that you have when in real life. It's like it resembles it so well. It's like, oh my god. But anyway, let me just deposit back. Let me just deposit some of the wood and everything that I have. Yeah, so I mean, that moment was just very memorable. Like that moment where I just had that panic attack. And I think interestingly afterwards, I just didn't face that anymore. I just didn't have that happen to me anymore. It wasn't, the anxiety attacks was just more like short bursts that is not like crippling. For some reason it become like kind of like subdivided across different situations where small situations happen and then you have that kind of paralyzing feeling. Or perhaps I got used to it and it is still happening at the same intensity. But you know, it just happens more regularly that it just felt like a norm already. Because I only remember the thing so vividly because it was the first time, right? So maybe that's the case. Maybe. I'm not so sure though. But what about you? I mean, do you feel that way? I mean, perhaps you feel anxiety when you speak to people. And it's like it's just trying to understand. I think the difficult part is that because this is so personal, right? You never know whether what you are feeling is normal. I mean, everybody says they go through anxiety, right? But what exactly is not normal? And you kind of get stuck in your head where, for some people like me, like, I thought mine is not normal. But then when I spoke to my friends, like, sometimes you see certain moments are pretty normal to have anxiety, but there are certain cases where it's absolutely not normal when you are having diarrhea in the morning, that's not normal, right? And so you have this whole moment of like overthinking constantly again and again. Delicious green bean. Can I just buy green bean from Pier? Can I buy cauliflower from Pier? Does Piers sell cauliflower? No, unfortunately not. Barely 2,000. Can't even buy the bag. I need a bigger bag. KO seems to be pretty nice, right? 6 days. I forgot. I counted just now. I remembered, but I forgot how many. And I think the game told me that like spring plants would die or something. Like you can't plant like things that are in different seasons. So that's kind of worrying. Yeah. I think, you know, I used to go for therapy for quite a long time, but then I kind of stopped because the interesting thing is when in high school you can go for the high school counselor, right? Or the high school therapist. But when you stop, I mean, then when you go to university, that's the university counselor. But I mean, once you graduated, there's no more. These are free services, and once you graduated, there's no more such free service, isn't it? And it costs a lot, man. It costs a bomb. Unless you're working for a tech company, then it kind of makes sense where you can like, you know, they will offer like $2,000 of welfare benefits where you can just claim, right? This feels a bit odd. This point where it just juts out. It's annoying. Yeah. You know, my friend is in a very good place where she works for a bank and they offer such welfare funds and you can just claim the therapy, and they actually went for like her and her boyfriend went for like, oh shit, did I just cut out the why did I do that? I hit the wrong button. Okay, well, that was kind of annoying. It's like she went for couples therapy with the boyfriend. And like it cost a bomb, man, like $200. But I mean they had the company pay for it. So I guess that was fine. I don't know when these strawberries are going to bloom. Yeah. So that's the good part. I mean, but unfortunately my company doesn't have it. My company has basic insurance. I realized something. I have no idea whether there are things planted here or not. I don't think so, right? Slightly confused now. Can't even tell. Maybe when we wake up, then we will know. Yeah. Oh, I wish I have a bigger can. But yeah. Oh well. Hopefully this video kind of helped. I guess it's kind of challenging to play and talk at the same time, but I'm managing it quite well, I guess. Am I managing it well? But just the part where you have to talk and you have to go back to doing your thing. I'm doing such a simple thing, and I mean it's kind of challenging. Can't imagine if I'm doing quests. Now I'm just doing basic farming because I need to get my chicken coop and get my bag, and I'm not planting enough things. But yeah. Oh well. I mean, such is life, isn't it? You just have to work with it. Let's just go and buy more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are these seeds or fertilizer? Not too sure. But I don't know what are your thoughts on it, on this, like in particular, like having a child. It's like I'm just so apprehensive, you know, because if you bring a child to this world, most likely you're gonna transfer all this anxiety to him, biologically, genetically, and just through parenting, right? And I feel that if I'm gonna bring a child into this world to suffer the same problems as me, why would I do that? Unless, I mean, I'm not particularly religious, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't have to, like, you know, hey, I want to buy things. Huh? Hey, can you do that? Oh, that's blood. Has he closed the store already? Oh, that doesn't make sense. Everybody is going to the bar. Strangely. Is there a cult meeting? Can I just... I need to fulfill the quest of like giving something to someone. Maybe I get a salad. I get a cheapest one. I get a bread. Then I give it to the old man. That's very nice of you. Thanks. Okay, nice. Jodie's request. Bring Caroline green bean. I mean, where do I get green beans though? Does he sell green beans? Nope. Well, I guess that's that. I mean, it's like when I spoke about it with my friends always ask me why. I think there's such an ingrained kind of mentality that you need to have kids. It's like, but I mean, as all of you know, it's like, even in America, housing prices are rising. inflation is going like sky high and your pay is not even matching at all. Everything is expensive. How do you even raise a child in that kind of environment, in that kind of medical system? And even for my country, like I mean our healthcare is good. It's paid for. You only have to pay a little. But I mean just the thought of passing down all these problems that you have to someone is just terrible. And you always will think back. I mean, if you have family issues, you think back, can you be a better parent? Like you're not sure, right? But I think my friend told me that either way, you will always be a better parent because you have this experience that you had with your parents, so you will be much better. But I can't be perfect. I mean, maybe I'm just a perfectionist in the sense where like, if I can't give my child the best, then why do I bother bringing him to this world, right? And you see a lot of people who don't deserve to have a child, and I'm kind of like nasty for saying that, but I think so. I think it is a valid point. Like, some people shouldn't be bringing a child into this world, and they are just making 7 to 8 babies, which doesn't make sense at all. I don't know. I realized something. Maybe next time we will just do a fishing session. That would be easier, right? But I think it's a bit frustrating to see a person lose a fish because I haven't really understood how to do fishing at all. I heard that there are different rhythms and everything. What's that? Does that even cost any money? Cooking glasses. Did somebody throw a body into my pond? Okay. Oh well. I guess that's that. I I hope you guys enjoy this. Like, I don't know. Can you enjoy such a thing? I hope all of you found something that's relatable. And if you have gone through something similar, please comment down below. And if there's something that is, I mean, perhaps share your experience, even if it's not really not not the same as mine. Just go ahead and you know perhaps we can just share our thoughts here and air our grievances, and perhaps it is there's some form of catharsis there, right? That makes things somewhat better for you. Yeah. So I'll go to sleep now, and I will see you next week. I think I'm not quite sure. Do I want to do this like a 2 times a week thing or once a week? Or we shall see. We shall see.